Hello and welcome to Chesapeake Weekly. Election Day is next week. On Tuesday, November 5th, the polls will be open from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Make sure you know where your polling location is by looking it up on the interactive map on the voter registrar's webpage. There you can also find a sample ballot if you want to do some research before casting your vote. And don't forget to bring your photo ID. Now, if you need to vote absentee, you can do so in person until November 2nd. For all the information on the upcoming election, visit cityofchesapeake.net/vote. City Manager James Baker has served the city of Chesapeake for nearly 7 years. This week, he ends his tenure with us and closes the chapter on a career filled with public service.
These are always really bittersweet types of things because I'm going to miss all the folks. But it's time to, and there's things that I want to do and my wife and I would like to do. And
what are you going to miss the most?
The people. It's the people. It's always the people. People ask me about projects, and what they forget is building a bridge, building a road, or any other facility. That's the easiest part of it. The challenge is building a consensus with the elected officials, with the appointed officials, the staff, the citizens, and none of those projects ever gets accomplished because of any one person. So it's really about relationships. It's really about the people.
I'm pretty excited about it, actually. I think it'll be good to have Jim around. I've got a laundry list of projects for him to do. It'll just be nice to have him around again. He's got a built-in china cabinet that I've already got, ready for him to build, and so it'll just be nice to have things around the house done.
He's really, really good at interaction and communication, and that's so important. It's one thing to do something; it's another thing to explain it. And that's something I've picked up.
Well, I think we're on the right. I think we spent a lot of time really trying to get focused to get on the right track. I think we're there. So I think it's more of a situation of continuing the momentum. Now, there'll always be changes that come up. The new city manager will have his own vision of exactly how he wants to get there, and that's great. That's good for the community. It's always nice to have the enthusiasm of a new job and a new set of responsibilities. So I think that's good for the city. But I do think we've set a pretty good template, and now it's just a question of keeping the momentum and keeping the focus that we need to do, because this is a hard job. There's always a lot more needs in the community than there are resources.
Mr. Christopher M. Price will take over the role of Chesapeake City Manager starting on Monday, November 4th. Mr. Price comes to us from Prince William County, where he served as Deputy County Executive. We look forward to introducing you to him in the coming weeks.
Dr. Jared A. Cotton.
Well, it was a morning of celebration at the State of the Schools event last week. Superintendent Dr. Jared Cotton shared incredible successes for the school system in his second annual address.
When we first got started today, I told you how excited I was to share with you the stories that proudly demonstrate our commitment to academics, to our employees, to our school environment, and to our community. But the truth is, it was almost impossible to choose what defines us from the extensive list of amazing things happening each and every day in each and every one of our schools.
You can watch the entire State of the Schools address on Chesapeake Television and find it on demand at cityofchesapeake.net/TV. There's nothing more important than keeping our kids safe while they're at school. The Chesapeake Police Department plays a big role in this as they collaborate with Chesapeake Public Schools to provide trained school resource officers in every school in the system.
I am a school resource officer, which I am a certified law enforcement officer hired by the Chesapeake Police Department to provide security services and law enforcement services to both public, secondary, and elementary schools here in Chesapeake.
Oh, cute. Yeah, I do a camp each year for rising sixth graders. We teach them about Virginia laws.
She is just not a school resource officer. She's an educator. She's a mentor. She is a coach. She is a mom. She is a godmother. You name all those titles, she has that because the kids know they can go to her and talk to her if they have any concerns. The teachers do the same. She has a very calming effect. She's fair, she's firm, and honestly, she's fantastic.
So when you're an SRO officer, you're able to have more of a one-on-one contact with the youth. You get more interaction throughout the day. You're there. they have issues, I'm already right here. I'm in the building. They can come to me, talk to me, and we can work things out.
It's all about investing, becoming a part of the educational community, developing authentic relationships with our students and staff. I think they feel that they have someone that they can confide in, someone that's definitely going to have their back, someone that understands, and a consistent force that is willing to invest in safety here within the school.
I don't enforce school policies or school rules. I do assist the school with different situations. So if there's a crime that occurs in the school, I am the one to investigate it.
I'm here every day. I interact with these children every day. I deal with what they're dealing with on a daily basis, and I can be a resource to them to help them in their lives.
Every day is a great day. I typically greet the students as they enter the building, and I'm welcomed with handshakes, high fives, hugs, fist pumps every day. I walk around the school. I make sure that everything is secure, safe. We had some incidents where people were on the property that should not have been here. So check the parking lot frequently. My favorite thing about being an SRO, oh my gosh, is interacting with the kids and the staff members here at Hugo, as well as Jolliff Middle. I enjoy people. I love life. So this is just great.
You have to be that friendly personality and be outgoing and being able to relate and have empathy towards these children.
When you're a fourth grader, there is literally nothing better than field trip day, especially when that day is spent out on the water. The Elizabeth River Project recently received a grant for their Blue Crab Project, which gets Chesapeake fourth graders out to the learning barge, their floating classroom, to learn all about their impact on our waterways.
And then you'll see two little antennas popping out. Those are his eyes. And then he'll start crawling around on your hand. Yeah? Okay.
So the learning barge allows students to come out, get out of the classroom and kind of get their hands dirty, do a lot of hands-on activities that they might not do in the classroom. They come out to be junior watermen and scientists for the day. They do everything from touching river critters, they conduct real-life science experiments, they learn all about the benefits of wetlands. So I definitely think it's a really unique experience for them, especially for the students in Hampton Roads. A lot of them come from, a few miles away and have never been to the river. So it's really cool to be kind of their first nature experience and have it be a good one.
How's everybody doing today? Okay, we're going to teach y'all about the male crab and the female crab. Right now, this is a female right here. It's got the orange tips on its claws. We got some oyster toads here that we caught. A lot of times, if he gets in the crab pot, the crabs won't go in there. So he's not our best friend. This over here is our crab bait. That's called menhaden. And we use them to put in the crab pot every day. And the crabs come in to eat that bait, and then they swim up and they can't get out. And we catch them. All right, and this right here is a female crab. It's a female crab that's got an egg on it. She's what we call a sponge crab. There's like 2 to 3 million eggs in that little egg sac right there. Hopefully y'all understand the importance of the grasses and everything that helps the crab survive. Yeah, the fertilizers that go on your yards a lot of time hurt our crabs. Sometimes the fertilizers for your yard aren't the best for the river. But when it rains, it washes it right back into the river. If he's smaller and he don't fit inside here, we throw him back and we can catch him when he's good and fat. Jimmies and Sooks. Y'all tell your mom and daddy y'all learned about Jimmies and Sooks today. All right, y'all come and see us, okay?
So at each station, the students learn a stewardship action that they can start taking today to help protect the future of the blue crab. And of course, the Atlantic blue crab is also very important to this region, to the Chesapeake Bay. Over the last 30 to 40 years, we've seen a decline in their population by 70%. They learn all about, rules and regulations of crabbing. So hopefully this can protect the populations in the future and therefore help the economy.
I have a grandson now, and I want this way of life to still be there for him and future generations. I'm a 4th generation waterman, so my great granddad, my granddad, and my dad all worked the water right in the same area.
Definitely make more connections when it's time to talk about it in the classroom. It makes them more aware, which is really good, because before coming out here, it's like they have a little background knowledge, but making them more aware of how to keep the environment clean. They use those things that they learn. They tell me, they go back home and they tell their parents, oh, we have to make sure we clean up after our animal. We have to make sure we don't do these things to keep the environment clean. So you definitely see the impact of it.
Mickey's Brandon. Oh, water. Bye, guys.
The Elizabeth River Project does a lot for our community through their mission to restore the health of the Elizabeth River. To learn more about what they do and how you can get involved, visit elizabethriver.org. The Job Work Center is holding a fall job fair on Thursday, November 7th from 9 a.m. to noon at Cuffey Community Center. Bring your resume and wear professional attire. Just a few of the employers planning to be at the job fair include BAE Systems, YMCA, several city divisions, and others. Learn more by calling 382-2192. A fun 55 and better opportunity is coming up this weekend. The Rokeby Social Night will start taking place on the first Saturday of every other month. There will be a live band and light refreshments. It's a great opportunity to get out of the house and make some new friends. It takes place at the Rokeby Center and is just $5 at the door. Learn more at cityofchesapeake.net/55 and better. Halloween is this week. If you plan to give out candy, turn on your porch light so that trick-or-treaters know you're participating. If you'd rather not, just keep that porch light off. Take a look at your yard ahead of time to make sure there's nothing to trip over. And if you're driving around that night, be extremely cautious. Go slow and expect there to be little kids running around. Parents, make sure that your child can see and walk in their costume. And remember that it will be dark, so bring along reflective clothing and flashlights. Use sidewalks whenever possible and keep an eye out for cars. Trick-or-treating hours for all those little ghouls and goblins are 6 to 8 p.m. on October 31st. And finally, don't forget, daylight saving time ends this weekend. We get an extra hour of sleep as we fall back an hour at 2 a.m. on Sunday morning. It's a lot less work now than it used to be since most of our clocks will reset themselves, but good luck trying to change that microwave clock. It's also a great time to check and change the batteries in your smoke detector. That's Chesapeake Weekly. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.